Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Valeria and this is the Offer Trench. In this video, I'll tell you about the work I did in January, February and March and show you my expenses. I had a plan for the winter, but I'd like to start with challenges that limited my physical activity and prevented me from completing all the work I wanted to do. What did I want to do over the winter and the first months of spring? Cut all the rebar for welding the fence, a total of about 2,000 kilograms. Cut all the pipes I have for the fence. Try to weld all the posts for the fence. I'll show you the welding structure later. Paint all the posts. Cut all the timber I ordered in the summer for building compost bins, a shed, an extension, a stove firebox and blueberry bed. Weld the components for the frame of the self-draining automatic irrigation system for the blueberries. Paint this frame and prepare it for installation. However, plans do not always match reality. I had some health issues and I didn't even start painting the posts because I hadn't finished the previous steps. So, on the 31st of December, I was driving home when my car started smoking. I didn't notice a tire iron stuck in the road. This resulted in a repair that was costly in terms of money, time and effort. As of now, 3.5 months later, I still haven't had the car repaired. But I think I'll start it up in the next few days and take it for a few test drives around the area. It took a long time not only because of the complexity of the breakdown, but also due to the cold weather, since I don't have a garage, and to the fact that before the engine started smoking openly, I had already been poisoned by fumes from the wiring, oil and so on. I didn't expect the side effects to be so severe. I felt nauseous for several days. For several weeks, I experienced uterine bleeding due to organ dysfunction and damage to my central nervous system and endocrine system. I went to see a doctor. In late January, they discovered growth in my uterus and anemia due to blood loss. In mid-February, I underwent surgery under general anesthesia. They removed and cauterized the growth, took a biopsy, performed a partial uterine cartilage for laboratory tissue analysis, and performed an intestinal puncture. After the surgery, I was unable to have a physical work for 3 weeks. Also, because of the anemia, I wanted to sleep all the time and was constantly tired. I thought I had the symptoms because I was welding posts despite feeling unwell, and to the fact that people generally have less energy in the winter. Now I've been taking iron supplements for 2 months with regular blood tests, and I feel much better. As I mentioned, before the surgery, I worked on the fence posts whenever possible. The longest continuous work session was 1 hour, even though I was hitting the extension where I was working. After an hour of work, I would go home to warm up for an hour. But eventually, I still managed to catch a chill in my joints. For a while, I could barely walk until the inflammation subsided. Now I'm still following a special exercise program with sports equipment, but I still cannot carry heavy things or walk fast for long periods. On top of that, in early March, I came down with the virus and a fever that lasted almost 3 weeks. Just when I thought I was getting better, my fever would spike again. Building immunity to a virus is a process that cannot be treated. I can support my body by taking care of myself, replenishing my resources with sleep, nutrition, hot tea, honey and vitamins. But I cannot speed up the development of immunity to a specific virus. Toxicity, surgery, joint inflammation, a broken car, a viral cold, and working as part of team on a hedge fund project. Because of these factors, I was unable to do what I planned. Nevertheless, I did my best in order to do what I can. March turned out to be particularly productive when the sun began to warm, the snow started to melt, and I had the opportunity to work outdoors for extended periods. So, what work was done at the Offer Trench during January, February and March? To weld the posts, I needed to weld the workpieces that could be set in concrete below the frost line. To save on metal and ensure a secure hold in the sedimentary rocks of the topsoil layer, followed by concrete pouring, my friends helped me design a unique post structure. To do this, I had to cut 2,000 kilograms of rebar and then weld it into preforms. This box is from the protein bars and it perfectly suits for cadre bars. The preforms for the post look like lattice. Later in the video, I'll show exactly what the post will look like. For one post, I need 2 ladders. Since I need to weld a lot, sometimes I spend entire days welding ladders so I can later weld them to the posts. I'd like to weld 3-4 posts a day, which is about 90-120 posts a month. But due to my health and the heavy workload from other projects right now, I've only managed to weld 60 posts. I also haven't cut all the pipes and rebar yet. It's just too heavy and bulky. As a result, I still need to weld more than 220 posts. In addition to welding the posts, I need to weld a frame for the IBC totes. Last year, I bought IBC totes to store and filter water for watering blueberries, mushrooms, the vegetable garden, and other household needs. To save space, for better water heating, and for gravity flow, I decided to place them on my shipping container. But for proper load distribution, I need to weld a frame so that the main weight, which including the water is 7,000 kilograms, is supported by the container's load-bearing frame. In the following videos, I'll show the final welding and painting of the entire frame and the result. Due to the strong knockdown winds, regular prolonged snowfalls, and large amounts of snowdrifts, I was unable to cut the timber and logs during the winter. Therefore, with the snow melting and warmer weather arriving, I continue my work on preparing firewood as well as wood for building compost bins and for the future blueberry beds. I built a small woodshed for drying firewood, which is located near the extension. I also finished a compost bin and I have a place to store hay, which in a few years will give me new, fertile, nutrient-rich soil. I'd like to plant another 25 blueberry bushes this year. As far as I can tell, last year's seedlings survived and took root. However, without a fence, various wild animals ate all the blueberries that were above the snow line. I don't know exactly which animals, but they were probably hares, roe deer, and others. It's a shame, but it's my fault. I cannot blame the animals. It tasted delicious to them, and there was no offense. I also planted hot pepper seeds in the fall and winter, and now I have over 20 plants. As of this video release, half of them are already small trees that continue to grow and have already produced their first harvest of hot peppers. As for other work at the off-road range, as soon as the snow melted, I took preventive measures against the proliferation of mites, bedbugs, cockroaches, and other harmful and dangerous insects. It's important to do this before fruit trees and flowers bloom, because otherwise I'll poison all the bees in the area. And the problem of bee extinction is an international cause for concern. So, work on the off-road range is slowly moving forward, step by step. Once the snow melted, a huge amount of work became apparent. A distinctive feature of construction and farming is that in many countries around the world, due to climate and weather, lots of work are seasonal. They depend on the groundwater level, the blooming of trees, average temperature and humidity, and so on. That's why many works can be done only in the spring, or only in the summer, or only in the fall. That's why early planning and completing work on time are so important for those who live on their own land. At the moment, I don't have the financial support to continue construction. But nevertheless, there is a lot of work to be done on improving the property and preparing for construction. I own more than 12,000 square meters, and simply keeping it tidy and clean takes a lot of time. 80% of this land is still leased, and I hope that by the end of this year I will be able to buy it out. If you'd like to support me, the video description includes links to my Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, and crypto wallets where I can send USDT. All you need to do is deposit regular US dollars into a reliable crypto exchange. By the way, speaking about cryptocurrency, I previously talked about a hedge fund development project where I participate in on a pro bono basis as a core team member. We have already released our token, which has utility function and is a part of a comprehensive ecosystem, unique and one of a kind in the world. I will talk about that in more details in one of my next videos. As work progresses and as I have free time, I will prepare videos and share updates on the progress of the off-road range. I would appreciate your subscription, likes, and comments. It was Valeria, the off-road range. I wish you all the best and see you soon.